After 15 years of raising them like my own, they grabbed the mic at graduation and said, "We want to thank our real dad. Not the loser who just paid the bills." I smiled. The next day, their college fund, which I saved for 5 years, was gone, and who I gave it to left their mother begging me in front of everyone. Update 3. Later that afternoon, I met with my financial advisor, and moved the funds officially, restructured everything, labeled it under the trust's name. No ties to the Matthews household, no paper trail Rachel could sniff out without a subpoena, and a miracle. Meanwhile, back at the house, the fantasy rolled on uninterrupted. I saw a group text pop up on the family iPad in the kitchen. Megan sharing photos of dorm options with Rachel, Kyle bragging about what gaming setup he'd bring, Rachel talking about which wine glasses to donate now that she'd have her space back. They planned everything, move-in dates, what color sheets to buy, what to do with Kyle's lizard. Rachel even joked about turning Megan's room into a yoga studio. None of them noticed the balance had dropped to zero. None of them asked, why would they? They'd been conditioned to believe the world just worked out, that dad, stepdad, correction, would always be there with the check, the ride, the safety net. So, while they poured mimosas and measured for curtain rods, I was quietly rewriting the entire story, not out of spite, out of principle. You don't get to spit in the face of the man who held your umbrella in every storm, and still expect him to carry you to shelter when the next one rolls in. It started with a ping. Rachel was in the kitchen when the email came through. Her laptop chirped that cheerful little chime like it was delivering a coupon or a holiday recipe. Instead, it was a polite digital slap from the admissions office at Hudson State. Subject: deposit not received. Action required. She read it once, then again, her face folding into that confused smirk she wears when the universe dares to inconvenience her. She hit reply, paused, then changed her mind, and reached for her phone. I was on my lunch break sitting alone in the cab of my truck outside a deli, unwrapping a turkey sandwich like it was a crime scene when the screen lit up. Rachel, home, calling. I let it ring twice before answering. You didn't send the deposit, she said. No hello, no lead-in. For Hudson, the dorm payments, Kyle's housing, they're saying it bounced or something. I took a slow bite of the sandwich, chewed, swallowed. Huh, I said. I'll look into it. Look into it. Yeah, probably a glitch. There was a pause on her end. I could hear the kitchen clock ticking. Then, Gary, are you okay? Never better. Click. Back at the house, Megan was sitting at the kitchen table pretending to do something on her laptop, but clearly eavesdropping. She caught enough to raise an eyebrow. Later that night, while folding towels, she asked Rachel, is the money not there? Rachel, in full damage control mode, waved her off. It's probably just a mix-up. Your dad, he overthinks things. Stepdad, Megan corrected reflexively. Kyle, lying on the couch scrolling TikTok, chimed in without looking up. He's not going to do anything. He's too soft, he cried during Finding Nemo. Remember? Megan giggled, but it sounded less certain than usual. Kyle's always been the loud one, the overconfident golden boy who thought every conversation was a spotlight, the kind of kid who never learned the difference between being handed something and earning it. That night, Rachel sent me a text. Brunch this Sunday, just us. We need to talk. Speech balloon, red heart. I stared at it for a while. Just us. Was Rachel code for manipulation with coffee and egg whites? She was always best when she could disarm you with pancakes and nostalgia. I replied, sure, looking forward to it. Which was true. I was looking forward to it, because there's something beautiful about letting someone build the trap they think you're too dumb to see. Watching them tie the knots, smiling the whole time, thinking they're 2 moves ahead, when in fact, they're walking straight into the quicksand. Rachel was a world-class emotional puppeteer, but she'd forgotten one thing. Puppets burn just as fast as bridges. The brunch spot was one of those rustic farmhouse-turned-bistro places that serves eggs on wooden slabs, and charges extra if you ask for ketchup. Rachel picked it, of course, said it was neutral ground. What she meant was somewhere public, where she could control the tone, a place where raising your voice felt like a felony, and the smell of artisanal sourdough softened every lie. She arrived in white linen, sunglasses perched on her head, acting like the world hadn't just cracked at the seams. Hi stranger, she said, giving me a quick kiss on the cheek like she hadn't spent the past week pretending I was invisible. I played along, ordered black coffee, no food. Rachel naturally ordered something complicated with hollandaise. She began stirring her mimosa, like she was prepping a speech. That email from Hudson, it threw me off. I thought maybe we miscommunicated about the timeline. I nodded. You always used to be so organized with that stuff. Remember when you handled our taxes that year? God, I was such a mess. She laughed lightly, touching my hand across the table. But you pulled through. You always do. There it was. Nostalgia bait. She kept going, winding the years backward like some carefully curated documentary. When Kyle had that asthma scare in 2nd grade, you stayed overnight in that awful plastic chair. They don't remember that, but I do. And when Megan lost her math binder the night before finals, you drove to 3 Targets. I nodded again, sipping my coffee. Lot of binders. She leaned in. Look, I know the speech at graduation stung. Kids don't always understand the impact of their words. They're teenagers. They think in hashtags. I cracked a smile. And you? She blinked. What? Do you understand the impact? Rachel hesitated, then did that thing where she tilts her head slightly like she's listening to a podcast. I just want us to be okay, Gary. The kids, they'll come around. You know how Kyle is. Loud, dumb sometimes. But his heart's in the right place. Sure, she smiled, relieved. So, we're good. You'll handle the deposit. I set my cup down. Of course. She reached across the table, gave my hand a gentle squeeze. I knew I could count on you. It was almost a nice moment. Almost. Now you can watch the fourth part by pressing share and more.